Gautam, could you please share some special memories or moments, of your last meetings with Ramesh?
I remember a few incidents which kind of stayed with me. One was in the ICU. I think Ramesh was briefly in the hospital for about a couple of weeks. And I went to see him. And he was very quiet, of course, as expected. So I asked him, I said, Guruji, you must be tired of all this, the hospital environment. And at that age of 92, don't really look forward to such things. He promptly replied, he said, yes. And then he looked at me and he said, but witnessing is happening. He was just generally pointing to the ICU itself. And that was the only conversation. And then I didn't want to hang on there in the ICU, you can't in any case. So I left. But I remember that because there was something very deep about that exchange. It's so simple, but yet I don't remember meeting someone else in the ICU who said witnessing is happening, So that was quite nice. And something which was quite funny comes to mind actually. It was quite hilarious actually. I went once, he was no longer in the ICU, he was in a room with this other friend who used to come for the satsangs. So we were chatting with Ramesh a bit in the room. It was, of course, much more casual. So this man asked Ramesh, he said, but sir, tell me, are you coming back? Now, I was most confused because I said, I was telling myself, what does he mean coming back to the hospital? And Ramesh must have looked at me thinking I'm trying to figure this out, And Ramesh looked at me and he said, he means whether I'm coming back down here. So I said, really? So the man said, so are you coming back? And Ramesh looked at him and said, you must be joking. You must be joking. That was so funny. So I have these two memories of Ramesh in the hospital. One more was when I walked in once to his hospital room and he was asleep, so I just sat next to him and then he opened his eyes and he looked at me and said, how's business? I just burst out laughing, I said, if I was in the hospital, that's probably the last thing which would come to my mind, And I thought it's incredible. He was so present and, it just came out spontaneously. Yeah. It was so normal, you see, that's the thing. Everything with him was so normal. I liked that normalcy. I have a friend, Gabriel, who uses the right word, unassuming. Ramesh was unassuming. Wearing a white kurta pajama every morning to the satsang. Couldn't be simpler than that, you see. Yeah. And that's, I think, a great quality. It's not something you can acquire because it's who you are. The simplicity of being. So that was witnessed by me even through his last days, And at home, I remember one conversation which took place, which I don't want to get into really in the details, but it ended when he looked at me and he said, Gautam, death is a wonderful gift. And then he just did this and he smiled. That image stayed with me. So these are the memories I kind of cherish because the normalcy of it all, instead of that heavy weight of, when the time has come, that was not there. It was a very nice perspective to share, very deep, and something I really thank God. I think I am speaking on behalf of all of us who were with Ramesh through those last couple of years, we got to see really a master living the teaching. It was a gift for all of us, truly. that was really powerful.